Hey everybody, I'm Ziggy here to you, and welcome to the finale of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Nintendo Switch. Throughout this series, we've been playing the new Super Mario Odyssey levels that came with the Nintendo Switch version of this game, as well as the new DLC book that came out a couple months later. And now it's time to finish it once and for all. Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth. So, the first thing you may recognize about this level is this is basically another Mommy Maze Forever. And this one, I don't want to say it's quite as difficult as the original, but it's definitely as stressful as Mommy Maze Forever, especially when we get into the later parts. That doesn't seem like much right now, because there aren't a whole lot of enemies to deal with. We just have the Shadow Clone following us. It doesn't seem like much right now, but trust me, it gets very stressful later on. Now, just like what we did with the Wii U finale of this Let's Play, there will be a list in the description below that will tell you all the enemies you can expect when you go into the floors. But something really cool is that the statues themselves will also tell you as well. So that statue is a Shy Guy, and we'll be facing some Shy Guys in this area. So, another thing you may have noticed as we go through this area is we're using the assist play for this mode. So, my word of advice for playing through the Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth, play with the assist mode, because even though you won't be able to run as fast as normal, you'll be able to use the second Joy-Con to throw turnips at the bad guys, which can make it easier to go around the area. It won't work on everything in this place, but it's still a very useful strategy if you need some help. So far so good, right? We haven't seen anything too stressful, everything seems to be pretty easy for the most part, but now we're going to be getting to what makes this a difficult level. The Toads are going to be following you throughout the rest of the level, and the secret objective for the Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth is to not let any members of the Toad Brigade die. So, kind of like how you gradually got more Shadow Clones in Mommy Maze Forever, you're going to be getting more Toad Brigade members as the level goes on in this level, and that means you gotta be more careful about when you're making turns and when you're backtracking, because if you backtrack and you're not careful, then your Toad Brigade member can very easily bump into a bad guy or something like that, so you definitely need to be careful. This is a big reason why I recommend having assist play when you're playing through the Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth, because you can take down these enemies pretty quickly, and you can also use the turnip to activate the mold guys. I don't remember the names off the top of my head. But that right there, that's a pretty funny glitch that I always like whenever I play through this level. The pickaxe and the mystery box, they can appear spawned together on random occasions, and it's pretty funny. Sometimes the glitch will make it so that you'll start off the next level with a pickaxe already in hand, which is pretty useful. Another thing that's pretty nice about this level compared to Mommy Maze Forever is that the Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth is nowhere near as long as Mommy Maze Forever, because even though this level doesn't have any checkpoints, you don't have to backtrack quite as far if you die on this level. And this level's short length compared to Mommy Maze Forever is also going to lead into something else that I want to talk about this episode. Originally, I was going to have the James Earl Screen Grippers Gaming and Pan Garmin co-commentating this episode, but in the end I decided against it, because this level is so short that I kind of figured with only like 5 minutes to explain everything, if I had 4 people co-commentating with me during the episode, then I really wouldn't have much time to explain the level itself, and that's kind of the whole point of the Let's Play, so I do apologize that they're not in this episode. It would have been awesome if I could have all 4 of them in the finale, but I'm still really appreciative of you guys when you co-commentated during the original Let's Play. Even though now that I think about it, I don't think Pan Garmin was in the original Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Let's Play. But now, we're getting into the last stretch of the Chaos and Shadow Labyrinth, or whatever this level is called. We're going to be getting into the ghost portion of this level, and this part is pretty tricky, because your turnips will not work on the ghosts. So, another word of advice I could recommend if you're not playing with assist mode, the freezing ability is also your best friend. Your cursor, just in general, is your best friend during the level, Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth. But the thing is, the cursor doesn't really work on the ghosts. It will make them freeze for a moment, which can help Captain Toad, but it won't do much to help the Toad Brigade members. Another word of advice I recommend is take your time when you're going through this area, because if you're trying to rush through it, like you're holding down the run button the entire time and you're rushing through it, then you're more likely than not... I didn't turn my phone off before recording. More often than not, the enemy is going to bump into the Toad Brigade member, and it's not exactly going to be the most pleasant experience in the world, so take your time, start the level with doing laps around the perimeter of the level, and use the assist play cursor to wipe out any enemies you can defeat. Now, this right here is probably another area where the assist play or the cursor in general just isn't all that helpful, because their bullet bills are going to be coming in constantly. So what I recommend is look on ahead, try and use the assist play to take out the mold guy, and get the box to spawn. Because if you don't do that, and you're just running around aimlessly, then the bullet bills are definitely going to catch up with the Toad Brigade members, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Also, if you're going to be turning around, things like that, definitely turn around behind the bullet bill, so that the Toad Brigade members are not within the direct line of fire whenever you're facing them. But now we're in the very final level, and this isn't really that hard of an area. It's just a bunch of mold guys following you with the shadow guy. And now we've reached the end of the chaos of the Grand Labyrinth. Just like Mommy Maze Forever, we're greeted with a shiny crown and a bunch of golden mushrooms. Thankfully, we don't have a secret objective of having to collect a certain amount of coins or anything like that, because that would have made this level way more stressful than it already was. I believe it took me like an hour or so to get this footage, and the assist play, I got the idea to use assist play about 75% of the way through the recording session or something like that. It took me 2 attempts at the assist play, but it's definitely really helpful if you want to get to the area quickly. And now, we've claimed our final treasure. Just like the Wii U version was a prequel to Super Mario 3D World, and the Nintendo Switch levels were a prequel to Super Mario Odyssey, this DLC book is a prequel to New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. And that was Lady Garrity's Let's Play of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Nintendo Switch. I'm admittedly a little hesitant to call this the absolute finale of this Let's Play, because of knowing my luck with this game, they're going to be announcing like 3 more DLC packs for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker down the line. So I'm going to leave this finale a little open-ended, because if this is truly the last we'll ever see of this game, then thank you all for watching. But if more DLC packs are released down the line, then you can expect a Season 3 to come out around the time that the DLC is released. I won't do like a day 1 upload or anything like that, because that's not my usual style. But if there is more DLC released, I will cover it. But as for now, that is Lady Garrity's Let's Play of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Nintendo Switch. I don't really have anything to announce in this video, because we're still pretty early on within Splatoon 2 and Majora's Mask 3D. I can say that we will be starting up Super Mario 3D Land's Special Worlds, so we're currently doing a streaming series recording the Special Worlds for that video, so you can look forward to that. But other than that, there's not really much else to say. We will take care of the DLC levels in the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Versus on game, and I do have every intention on live streaming the 3DS version of this game at some point. I don't know if it will be this year, but I do have every intention on doing that. And with that, thank you all for watching Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Nintendo Switch. Stay tuned to my channel for Splatoon 2, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, Super Mario 3D Land Special Worlds whenever that's released, and many more. Thank you all for watching this Let's Play, and until next time, Lady Garrity you.